Why is the mayor's office calling rideshare drivers and making them a little sleepless in Seattle? What's up with what?
Hi, this is Andres Mantilla, Director of Department of Neighborhoods, calling on behalf of Mayor Jenny Durkin. I'm sorry I missed you.
Sounded like a recording to me. Sorry I missed you. But then I get a call from the mayor herself.
We'll discuss policies that will directly affect Uber and Lyft drivers, and we want to keep you informed.
So whether you're a driver or a passenger, I thought this was really important information, especially here in Seattle. Will this be coming to a city near you? Hello, YouTube. It's me, Russ, with another Chronicles of Rideshare video. Here's a story that broke back in September. Seattle considering, trying to apply the minimum wage law to rideshare drivers. As a guy who's been doing gig economy stuff for the last 30 years or so. I haven't had a normal job in a very long time. I wanted to give you my take on this and maybe some good information about what it means to enforce a minimum wage law. Like, that was the first thought that came to me when this story broke back in September. It's like, okay, how are they going to do that? And is it going to be good for drivers? I mean, that's the big question. And to the city's credit, they sent a survey out to survey us drivers and ask what we thought about it. We'll give you $3. The reason they did this is because the promises of possibly winning a $100 Amazon gift card must not have worked very well. And then when I started filling out this survey, when someone starts asking you questions, it's a good way to kind of gauge whether we can effectively trust the question asker, if that makes sense. Like, all of us have this cognitions, right? Like, we listen to someone, we're kind of like, okay, this person's asking me questions. Can I trust them? That's usually going on in all of our heads. And it seems politicians are blind to that completely in a lot of cases. Like, there's good faith and bad faith policymaking. And a good faith policymaking is when the government genuinely cares about the people and they want to, and that's kind of how they're marketing this, right? Like, they really want to help rideshare drivers, and we're interested in you and we care about you. And then I get a call. These calls come in. Most of us avoid them, right? Like, us rideshare drivers, we're getting robocalls all day long. Checking my voicemail later, I find this.
Hi, this is Andres Mantilla, Director of Department of Neighborhoods, calling on behalf of Mayor Jenny Durkin. I'm sorry I missed you. I wanted to invite you to a live Uber and Lyft telephone town hall today to discuss policies that will directly affect TNC drivers, and I wanted to keep you informed. If you received this call shortly after 1:30, please dial 855-756-7520, extension 54762# to join. For more information or to complete our online survey, please feel free to visit seattle.gov/fair share. That's seattle.gov/FARESHARE. Thanks a lot for your time. This is paid for by the City of Seattle, 206-684-2489.
Then, immediately after that one, I get this one, which was kind of cut off at the beginning, but it's from the mayor herself.
To show up, you just have to dial in. We'll discuss policies that will directly affect Uber and Lyft drivers, and we want to keep you informed. We'll also take live questions from you. It's free to participate, so just answer the phone tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. to join.
So the city had a town hall for drivers via phone conference or something, and I didn't hear about it until too late, right? Just because I checked my voicemails, I heard about it. I asked some other driver friends, and they didn't hear about it at all. They're like, the city did what, right? And then there's the survey. Again, some of the questions that are in there were just... First, of course, they want to know how much money we're making, and they want us to take screenshots of the app and see our, pay and our online time and our booked time. Secondly, they asked absurd questions that no business person would ever ask. Like, how much are you paying your people to sit around and do nothing. You know, how long do you wait at the airport and just sit there and not get rides? I mean, some of this, you know, you have to have some common sense to do this job. There's a difference between booked time and online time, all right? And part of the smarts to doing this is maximizing booked time and not sitting around online time not making money, all right? And there's a ton of videos out there. There's the Rideshare Hub on YouTube. YouTube right here it's like college for rideshare. You can learn this stuff. As a driver in Seattle, if we work during rush hour and, you know, Friday, Saturday nights, it's good odds we're going to make more than $15 an hour. We're going to make more than minimum wage. And I'm driving this car as a perk on top of that. So taking out my weekly rental, I'm still making, you know, around between $13 to $15 to $20 to $25 an hour. And keep in mind, that's after renting the hybrid here, which I get to drive for another 200 to 350 personal miles a week. This thing gets 60 miles to the gallon. I'm hardly spending any money on gas. The survey didn't ask me anything about that. You know, just a bunch of questions on how we're wasting time. And I don't always count all my online time as working. Sometimes I'm hanging out at the house, I'll turn the app on, and I don't consider myself working. What I do consider working is if I drive into the city, or if it's rush hour in Everett, in Tacoma, in Bellevue, you know, heck, just about any city in the Seattle metro area, you're gonna make money. You're gonna get rides at rush hour. I can't remember all the stuff on the survey, and it wouldn't let me go back. I was gonna record some of the questions because I thought some of them were honestly ludicrous. But some of that was traffic congestion, and I want to talk about that too. So after filling out my survey, I get on the website here and looking over all of the things that the city is proposing, there was a few big things that jumped out to me. Number one is money. This is about more taxes and creating more revenue for the defunct transit system here in the city. So as these questions are being asked of me, my trust is breaking down. You know, just the way that they're asked, and it became pretty clear to me that this is about money and raising taxes, which I get. You know, we need taxes. That's how we pay for transportation. Duh, right? But the way the city's done it, the way Sound Transit has manipulated people and lied to people, and then the people vote for $30 car tabs because we felt jilted, and there was a mass reaction. Like you said, it was going to be, 5 to 7% hike in taxes, and then all of a sudden we get sticker shock when we go get our license tabs, and then they wonder why, you know, this $30 car tax thing goes through, and we, the people, vote for it, and then it's tied up in court. But man, we're going to tax the heck out of rideshare. That's what to me, it's pretty clear that this is what's going on. Now, I also want to not be a cynic because I think it's lazy. And what is it in there? Is there benefits for drivers in there? I'm going to talk about that. But first, let's not be stupid and this has been done before. All right. Learn from past experience. New York City has a $15 minimum wage. So here's the first clue that it's not good for drivers or passengers or traffic congestion because it's going to limit the time we're online. So here's what's going on in New York. If the city's going to force $15 minimum wage while you're online, all right? Are you saying I can't just sit around and make money, like sit on the couch at home and turn the app on, be online, and just crank out $15 an hour? No, sorry, lazy me. You can't just sit around and make $15 an hour eating ice cream and watching movies. No, that's right. My point is, when $15 an hour went into effect in New York City, they stopped letting drivers drive when they want to, and they forced certain hours that you could get paid to drive or even be online. Meaning, they need you when they need you. Anybody who's ever done any work in like the restaurant or fast food business, right? They need people during dinner rush or lunch rush. That's when they need people. That's why they don't offer a whole lot of hours. There won't be a lot of hours to work for rideshare drivers if, and think of the traffic congestion. If I can only work 6 hours a day, guess what? Everyone's going to go on the road during rush hour. Is that good for traffic in the city? No. That's another thing that has impacted New York City. And here's what happened when rideshare companies tried to get more booked time because they're forced to pay $15 an hour. The streets are flooded with cars. New York City tries to regulate that by capping the times that, or amounts of drivers that are on the streets. They sued Uber and Lyft over that. Uber and Lyft sued back. A judge overruled it and said that, hey, these are self-employed. They can go out, they can drive. People can, make their own decisions. And God knows how many hundreds of millions of dollars it cost in court fees and lawyers to argue all of that stuff. Well, Uber and Lyft can afford it. They make hundreds of millions of dollars a day. Actually, they don't. They don't make anything. They're not making money. I think they're banking on the autonomous cars of the future being the transportation, right? Most people won't own cars. They'll use Uber and Lyft autonomous. And that's why Uber and Lyft loses hundreds of millions of dollars a quarter, Who do you think is going to pay when the city is being sued by Uber and Lyft? When Uber and Lyft go to court, taxpayers are funding lawyers to fight things because the city doesn't do any diligent research and make decisions that are smart based on past experience. They do surveys that we don't trust them. We don't, we're not working. Like, you call us, you send us text messages. Hey, you might win a gift card to Amazon, or we'll give you $3. Most of us aren't going to fill that stuff out. Do some actual market research. Look at the city of New York and see what's going on there. Before Seattle, you go wasting a bunch of taxpayers' money in lawsuits. Because here's another thing we've seen from past experience. Even if you win the lawsuits, they could just pull right out of your city. And the public don't like that. And I could see them not wanting to go through the horrible, history of New York. Seattle isn't New York. New York City is like 13, 14 times the size of Seattle. So I could see Uber and Lyft just going, nah, we're just not going to do business there anymore. That is totally something they could do. For example, here in the Pacific Northwest, in Everett, the city council voted to jail drivers and huge fees if every driver didn't have a business license. And Uber and Lyft looked at that and went, okay. Then they shut it off. And there was no more Uber and Lyft in Everett, and the public outcry had them change that policy really quickly. These politicians think that, oh yeah, we can do whatever we want. And then all of a sudden, wow, everybody's gonna oust us if we, right? That's happened in a number of cities. Here's what I propose, all right? As a driver, when I started, this was really pretty lucrative, What's happened over time is Uber and Lyft have to compete. So one of them lowers prices, the other one has to lower prices. They're trying to compete with each other, and us drivers every year make a little less money. And now, 6 hours of online time, making $15 an hour during that 6 hours, or making less. I was making $12 an hour before I started renting the hybrid here. That just wasn't the case when I first started doing this. We struggled to make a living wage. When I first started doing this, I was making a good living wage at the time. What I would propose is that there would be a minimum ride fee for all of the rideshare companies in Seattle. All right. So let's say every passenger is going to pay a minimum of $7. Now, this would cut down on a lot of traffic because there would be less rides. There's some people that just don't want to walk 2 blocks in the rain, and so they get a Lyft. And it's like $2.80 that we get paid to drive from God knows where to pick them up and drive them 2 blocks. That's going to cause traffic congestion. We don't make a lot of money. They've cut our bonuses, so we're not getting like the you do a certain amount of rides, you get a bonus for completing 80 to 100 rides a week or whatever. We're not getting those things anymore. So what I propose is a minimum fee. Lyft and Uber get their share. The city gets a tax. Us drivers get like $5, right? That would be profitable. Like when I first started, it was $5 that we got paid as drivers to do every short little trip. And that was pretty profitable. If you could do 6 or 7 of those in an hour, that's 30 to 35 bucks an hour. That's pretty good money. Another one is our per mile, what we get paid per mile. When we are online and we're getting rides and we're working hard to serve the public, when I first started, I got paid $1.35 a mile, which was competitive and profitable at the time. I mean, here's another part of why the public and us drivers don't trust the government, right? Because look at the yellow cab system. Look at the taxis. The taxis were in bed with the government and city government, and they bilked people. Like $2.50 a mile, and the meter drop of $8, $5, $10 or whatever it was. It was outrageous, and most people couldn't afford taxis, and they still can't. When I was young and drinking, yeah, you're thinking about how much. I can't afford that. So every city where Uber and Lyft are active, DUI rates have plummeted. Even here in Seattle, we legalize marijuana and our DUI rates go down. Why is that? It's because of rideshare. So keep rideshare affordable, but pay us drivers $1.35, $1.40 a mile, and go back to kind of when they started. And I know that's probably not good for shareholders, right? Because they're trying to figure out any way they can to make this thing profitable. And the truth is, this just ain't going to be profitable until robots start driving cars, all right? You guys are hunkering down and investing in this thing, and it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make money. I could post some more newspaper articles about Uber and Lyft losing hundreds of millions of dollars a quarter. But yeah, city of Seattle, if you care about us drivers, if you care about passengers, those are two things you could do to cut traffic, and us drivers would easily be making more than $15 an hour when the public needs us. To force, Uber and Lyft to pay us $15 an hour to haul our butts out of bed at like 11 a.m. So hopefully this has been helpful. I don't know. This is my 2 cents as a driver who's been doing this for 5 years in the city of Seattle. March will be my 5th year. I started with Uber in 2015. And I'm not a moron when it comes to rideshare. So thanks for watching. Hey, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, if you found it helpful. And in the comments section, I'd appreciate anything you have to say. Whether you're a passenger, a driver, this is going to affect transportation in Seattle. It's going to affect transportation everywhere. These cities and municipalities tend to learn from each other rather than doing, their own market research. It seems like, let's make informed decisions. It doesn't seem to be on the priority list of most city or even state governments, really. So, again, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Help a poor rideshare driver out. Hit that thumbs up button. And thanks for watching. Check out some more videos over here or over there, all right? If you want to learn some more rideshare stuff from this here channel, I'd appreciate you sticking around. Thanks again. My name is Russ Shaw. Bye.